All right, you looked at other games. You did deep dives into some of these other games. We're going to look at these in the context of Coach of the Year, because we wanted the homies to chime in too. Who are their Coach of the Year candidates? Maybe give us a top 3. And so the homies in droves have done that. So we're going to talk about a lot of these coaches, what they've done well, what your thoughts of what they've done well.
Yep.
We'll start with Toast Leonard 5, who gave us his. Why'd you laugh?
I thought you said toast.
I don't know. What
toast.
is it? Toast Leonard 5.
Tochi, maybe?
Tochi?
Yeah.
Tochi Leonard 5. I was like, oh no, is this another mall cop that I don't know who was in a movie? I was like, this is someone I should know. I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to do that. I've done that for my time for the podcast. He has Kyle Shanahan number 1 for his Coach of the Year candidate. Brock Purdy is the favorite, quote unquote, he put here for MVP. I'm not sure anything else more needs to be said. He goes number 2, DeMeco Ryans. Many assumed he would be the worst team in the AFC, and they're sitting 7-5. And he goes number 3, Dan Campbell or Mike McDaniel. Figured they would be good, but still needed to prove it. So we'll hear from some of the other homies here who chime in. But we just talked about Kyle Shanahan and all the things they're doing offensively with the San Francisco 49ers. He's his number 1 candidate right now. And I would bet you, for a lot of people out there, as we look at the DraftKings Sportsbooks, it often doesn't go to the guy like Kyle Shanahan. You see his odds here, plus 2,000, because much was expected of the San Francisco 49ers.
I get it. But when the much wasn't expected from the 49ers, Kyle didn't get any love there either. I don't. He's one of those guys that for some reason, because he doesn't talk to the media, off camera or anything like that.
His hats that he wears doesn't look like a coach or
he's
a
not
normal
a political
coach out
guy.
there.
He's not into all of that. I think that goes against him. Like a little bit what went against him and why he didn't get a head coaching job quite as quickly as he probably should have. His name was Shanahan. They think like his dad still calling plays, from his home in Denver somewhere. Like, hey, Kyle can't really be doing that. Let me just say this right off the bat. The best head coach in football is Kyle Shanahan, and I don't really think it's close right now. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you. Now, you can look at his coaching tree, which there's a number of them on this graphic. Okay, that speaks to it. The GMs he has around football, right? I mean, you go through it. I mean, last year, why didn't he win last year? Was everybody expecting them to go to the NFC Championship game with a Mr. Irrelevant, right? Why didn't he win it the year they went to the Super Bowl? They came out of nowhere and were the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs with Jimmy Garoppolo. Why didn't he win it then? Jim Harbaugh won it with a team that he went to the playoffs with the year before. I mean, what? So that's where I don't understand the whole thing. I'm going Shanahan 1. I've changed my thought. Shanahan also has his hand in on the defensive side of the ball. As you've heard me say, this is the Shanahan defense. Steve Wilks comes in and learns how to run their defense. He doesn't come in and go, hey, I want to do this. Now they go, no, this is what we do. You learn how to do it and go from there, and you can tweak with it and play with it a little bit, but this is what we do here, the 49ers. I'm Kyle Shanahan. I run this organization, right? So it's a really unbelievable year.
Yeah. Let me read the odds one more time.
I ranted there, and I didn't really mean to do that. I'm sorry.
That's good.
But it was
whenever
my real
you
passion.
choose to rant on this podcast, we will let that happen every time, 10 times out of 10 times. Dan Campbell is the favorite right now, according to DraftKings, at plus 200.
Well, we all thought they were. I thought the expectations. Everybody expected him to do this.
But we never really think the Lions are going to be as good.
Now it's
we
that.
never really
Listen,
think.
He deserves to be here, right up where at the top. I'm not against that.
This is like one of those career achievement awards, right? It's like what he's done and built over the last 3 years have culminated into what the team is right now, because they're not in this spot with Dan Campbell. And I know that's not the award, right? Yeah. It's about what you've done this year.
Right.
But I think maybe that is the story for Dan Campbell, is that what he's done over the past 3 years, building a culture the second half of last year.
No doubt about it. I no doubt about it. He deserves to be every bit at the top of this conversation. In fact, all the guys that are at the top here deserve. I mean, DeMeco Ryans,
number 2.
Right?
You got Mike McDaniel 3. Shane Steichen from the Colts is 4. And then you get into the longer shot odds with the guys like Sirianni, Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur.
It's an incredible year. I mean, Matt LaFleur is another guy I could argue goes, well, why didn't he ever get credit why didn't he win the job?
It was all Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I thought they were ready to get rid of him, and all of a sudden they go 13-3 and wins the MVP, and they're like, oh, it's not LaFleur, it's Aaron Rodgers. And then they do it again, and it's like, it's not LaFleur, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, so I don't understand it. O'Connell and what he's done with the quarterback situation's insane. Sean Payton's insane, right? I mean, all those guys, I think, except the two in the middle, Sirianni and Shanahan, have exceeded expectations, right? And I would say with the way the 49ers are playing and looking clearly like the best team in football, and Sirianni and the Eagles kind of going through a tough patch, that's where I would definitely have Shanahan ahead of him right now. All right, but I'm going to be on the unpopular one and say Shanahan should be one because I'm just sick of kind of the BS around this conversation too.
You want to give it to the guy you think is the best coach right now.
If we're not going to give him to in the other years where he exceeded expectations, how about we give it to him in the year where he's actually the actual best coach in football, right? That's all I'll say. Now, my number 2 will be Mike McDaniel. That would be my number 2. And I know the Dolphins had expectations, but come on. I mean, 1, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. 2, they've revolutionizing the offense like we talked about a few weeks ago. I mean, they're number 1 in like every offensive category in football. I mean, they're incredible. So that is who I would make 2, let alone, hey, like you talked about with Dan Campbell, he resurrected Tua and like a little bit of what he did last year should go into this year. All right. Then, that's where I get into now the DeMeco Ryan, Dan Campbell, Shane Steichen conversation where I want to go, wow, it's really close right there. All right. So that's where I think if I had to pick the third one, it would be DeMeco Ryans. Right. That would be my third. If you really were like, but damn, I don't say that lightly out of disrespect for Dan Campbell and all the things you said are totally correct. Or what Shane Steichen is doing where, 1, they look better with a rookie quarterback than we expected. And then we're like, oh, the rookie quarterback's hurt. That stinks. They're not going to be as good. And you go, oh, whoa, they're in the playoffs right now with Gardner Minshew. So incredible coach. It's a really, really tough year. As tough as I can ever remember with the quality of coaches we got right now in the NFL.
It's going to be fascinating. We're going to talk more about this, but I want to let you know that you should not forget that on DraftKings Sportsbook this season, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $150 in bonus bets instantly.
Plus, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every day.
You can download the app, use the promo code UNBUTTON when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Yo, what up, homies? Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Right now, we got Sunday pod, right? So you can have it Monday morning. We recap all the action. Wednesday, it's the What the Happened podcast. We're going to get deep in the weeds on the key matchups of the week. And then Thursday, I'm picking games with that jerk Florio. So you know where to find us, homies. Keep watching. Peace out. We'll see you.